Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Lines, the story in the song. I'm Oscar Butler, performing songwriter, and this is episode 10. And today we're talking about a woman who's part swamp legend, part nightmare, and all attitude. This is the first blues song I ever wrote. And this was back when I think my first recording came out on cassette. You know, it's vintage when you have to rewind it with a pencil. This song's wild, it's theatrical, and it's become a fan favorite over the years. Let's talk about the one, the only Louisiana Lucy. Lucy was born in my imagination, but honestly, she just kind of kicked the door down and introduced herself. I wanted to write a song that was more than just heartbreak or hard times. I wanted a character, someone mysterious, dangerous, and maybe even a little misunderstood. And Lucy, she gave me all of that and chewed through the chain while doing it. This was the first time I ever put storytelling front and center in a blues groove. And ever since, I've been hooked. Audiences love her. Some are scared of her. And one woman even asked me if she was real. I said, if she is, I ain't saying her name out loud twice. And hey, if you're digging this kind of storytelling blues hybrid, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't make Lucy come after you. Louisiana Lucy, she's the meanest thing around. They say if she don't like you, it's best you just leave town. 'Cause the last man that done her wrong, he ain't around to hear this song. She's as Cajun as she can be, she'll drink your blood, I guarantee. That mean old Louisiana Lucy. See, that first line, we don't even ease into it. We start off with at DEFCON 5. The second line, they say if she don't like you, you best just leave town. That's local advice. You better get out of town if she don't like you. 'Cause the last man that done her wrong, he ain't around to hear this song. This line always gets a laugh or a nervous chuckle, depends on who's listening. She's as Cajun as she can be, she'll drink your blood, I guarantee. And in the song I sing it, I guarantee. Gotta get that Cajun drawl in there. A lot of big energy, a little scary, a lot of fun. That mean old Louisiana Lucy, we land on the name like a punchline in a warning. Raised by a voodoo woman made her wild and crazy. She used to chase down rabbits, they had to chain that girl to a tree. They say she chewed through the chain, then eyed the postman as her next game. Poor man didn't last a day, last thing they heard him say was, that mean old Louisiana Lucy. Now we're diving into the origin of the song, the bio-born and fire-fed Lucy. I mean, how do you even raise a kid like that? We meet the postman, poor guy, just trying to deliver coupons, circulars, and meet a federal deadline. That's right. Yeah, poor man didn't last a day. Last thing they heard him say. That mean old Louisiana Lucy. That's right. He didn't even get to drop the mail. And she was his first and last delivery for that day. Then we jump into a bridge here. Lucy's got a mean streak that just don't tire. A temper so hot, it can start a fire. Louisiana Lucy, not just a legend down in the South, and anyone who may doubt that, they might not live to walk out. This is where the band would start to sweat if there was one. That's your warning label, believe it or vanish. I met mean old Lucy on my way to Baton Rouge. She wore a flannel shirt, blue jeans, but the poor girl had no shoes. I said, Lucy, I've got a pair that you can use. She smiled best she could. She said, I'm just so misunderstood. It ain't easy being Louisiana Lucy. So in this one, now we shift from the myth to memoir. I guess you'd call it memoir. Cue the harmonica in your mind. It's hard to be mad at someone barefoot. I was trying to help. That might have been a mistake. And here's the twist. Lucy knows she's the villain of your story. She knows it. You try living up to a legend and it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And finishing it off, Lucy, I hear She's doing just fine, eating rabbit meat and drinking Jack Daniels. They call it that Cajun wine. Poor Lucy, you don't know how hard she's trying. But if you want to know the truth, you ought to go down and see the proof about mean old Louisiana Lucy. You got to see mean old Louisiana Lucy. Go see mean old Louisiana Lucy. She's all right. So just kind of summing up that last verse, she's alive, she's still wild, still eating things. Or as Lucy calls it, talking about the Jack Daniels. And again, I love throwing in the little accents in there. Jacques Daniel. You know, Cajun is basically a French descent, and Jacques Daniel. They call it Jacques Daniel. They call it that Cajun wine. Poor Lucy don't know how hard she's trying. Even Lucy wants a little love, y'all, you know? And here in these last lines, but if you want to know the truth, you ought to go down and see the proof. You don't get blues closure, you get an invitation. Go check her out. About mean old Louisiana Lucy, you got to go see mean old Louisiana Lucy. Go see mean old Louisiana Lucy. She's all right. And that's the last line. That's the wink, the twist, the maybe. She's not all bad, just all her. Well, the music and the composition now, again, this was the first blues song that I wrote, which I'm talking years and years and decades ago. But and it's as simplistic as I can imagine a blues song being. But it's interesting because, you know, I think I've spoken a few times in other episodes about, you know, the sounds that sound good to me, that work for me, you know, to start the song off. And these aren't even chords. I looked these up and I can't even find names for these. But it's, you know, and it's just, it's, that's pretty much it. Just here, 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 and here. And then you can throw that in. I just move it up. But, and then from there, just, and then, it starts out, Louisiana Lucy. Again, very simple chords. And again, for me, like I say in pretty much every episode, is my music is just that easy pond that my lyrics sit on, and so I find things that just sound good under what I'm singing. And so, you know, I don't want to seem like I don't want to teach the guitar chords, but music or my playing is really just a support to the lyrics that I'm throwing at you and the fun that I have in delivering them to you. So with that, let's get into the performance. Okay, here is a stripped down performance of Louisiana Lucy. Just me, my guitar, and one wild Cajun spirit. And remember, if you see her on the road, don't make eye contact. Louisiana Lucy, she's the meanest thing around. Says if she don't like you, well, you best just leave town, 'cause the last man that done her wrong, he ain't around to hear this song, no. She's as Cajun as she can be, she'll drink your blood, ooh, I guarantee that me no Louisiana Lucy, raised by a voodoo woman, make her wild and crazy. Used to chase down rabbits, had to chain that poor girl to a tree. They said she'd shoot through the chain, yeah. Then the postman is her next game. Watch out, boy. last thing they don't know, the last thing they heard him say was that mean though Louisiana Lucy, yeah. Lucy's got a mean streak that just don't tie you, no it don't. A temper so hot it'll start a fire, yeah. Louisiana Lucy's not just a legend down in the South, and anyone who may doubt that they may not live to walk out, no, no, no. Met me old Lucy on my way to Baton Rouge. She wore a flannel shirt, blue jeans, but poor girl had no shoes. I said, Lucy, Lucy girl, I've got a pair that you can use. Now, come on girl, try these on. How they fit, huh? Well, she smiled as best she could. She said, I'm just so misunderstood. It ain't easy being Louisiana Lucy, no, no, no. Louisiana Lucy now, I hear she's doing just fine, eating rabbit meat and drinking Jack Daniel, that old Cajun wine. Whoa, Lucy girl, 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 you just don't know how hard she's trying. No, you don't, But if you wanna know the truth, well, you ought to go down and see the proof about me, no, Louisiana Lucy, yeah. Gotta go see me, no, Louisiana Lucy, now, now, now. Go see me, no, Louisiana Lucy. She's alright. Lucy's dangerous, sure. But maybe that fire in her, maybe it's something we all carry a little of, you know? She's every part of us that's been misunderstood, judged, or blown off for being too intense. So if you've ever felt like Lucy or tried to love someone like her, drop a comment down in the comments below. I want to hear about your story. And if you've been enjoying this series, go ahead and subscribe and send this to a friend who loves character songs. And I'll see you next time in Behind the Lines, the story in the song. Thanks for listening. See you soon.